To the show. Man, we got a few things to talk about. Man, I hope everybody had a great week. Anyway, man, first of all, okay, I guess the most important thing that happened this week was this Waco thing, man. And boy, he got some stuff to bring up.
Was it this week?
Was it this week
or last week?
I don't know. Was it
Sunday?
It was Sunday?
Yeah.
It was Sunday. It was on Sunday, so it was on the cuff. We'll give you a slide.
Yeah, I appreciate that. We're still in the week. Still in the same week.
Go ahead.
Alright, so, I just started watching Sons of Anarchy, and I didn't realize this stuff was real. Like, they fighting over territory. 192 people got arrested. I didn't even know Waco jail was that big. Like, that's crazy. So, and you want to...
They had to do the paddy wagon, huh? Put paddy wagon out for them bad bikers.
I guess they had to borrow some cars, huh? I don't see how it happened.
They had hijacked cars. Get out the car. We need it. We need the car. We'll give it right back.
So, I'm thinking, okay, so you think this is going to negatively affect this, like, gun laws?
The open carry?
Yeah.
Well, actually, the Senate actually just approved open carry. Actually, the House actually just approved it. So it's going to the governor right now. So if the governor signs it, he got 10 days to sign it. If he signs it in 10 days, then it's going through. And
that's the thing. So what do you think the governor going to say? Okay, well, this is what we're going through. Okay, if this is happening, you think he's going to be hell no? Because you think it's going to turn back into the Wild Wild West, or
man? I want to say he would say no. I want to say he would say no. I mean, he is a Republican, so. But since the House approved it after the Waco situation, then I feel like he's probably going to approve it himself.
Yeah, I don't think this one event is going to change it, because I think they're going to look at it because of where it was
and who it was.
They're going to be like, okay, this is an isolated event. It's only going to happen here at this one place. It's not the whole world. Now, if it was somewhere else, different people, it might be different. But
I think because it happened so close to home, that it
happened in home, Waco.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that's one of the things I would think, like, okay, well, because we already have pretty relaxed gun laws as it is. And so for open carry, or he might say, hey, if more citizens inside Twin Peaks had guns, hey, they could have stopped it. But then it might have just turned into a shootout. I'm thinking, like, it could go either way. But me personally, I would think, if I was the governor, I would think, like, hey, I don't think this is a good idea. But at the same time, I'm all for a gun. Like, I love guns. I have several. But I would think that I would think that this is not a good time, with this situation happening.
And with all the other situations around the country. But it is Texas, and we do love our guns.
Yeah.
Well, anything that major happens, that's going to be a big change. There's going to be casualties. There's going to be big events that's going to happen. And then once everything settles and cools down, then you can kind of go back to somewhere of a normal way of living. So anytime, if they approve it or they deny it, something's going to change, because it's never happened before. Yeah. So, I mean, something's going to happen. If it's approved, there's going to be casualty, because that's just just how it is. And then once everybody's like, okay, well, everybody in the room got a gun, we all going to die. It's not going to be like, okay, let's just,
do you really think it's going to be I don't think people are going to. Are people going to shoot more because they see more
guns? I think at first people are going to be gun happy.
I think she brought up a good point.
What?
That might settle everyone down, knowing that everybody in the room has a gun. So if you had the nerve to shoot somebody just might shoot you in the back while you're trying to shoot someone else.
But do you
so it could be like a sort of checks and balance.
But do you really want to live in a 24-hour... Wait, you would live in a 24-hour Mexican standoff?
No, exactly.
You know what I mean?
I'm thinking.
So,
I think people are going to push their boundaries when it first happens. Like, everybody's going to be all excited. Oh, I got a gun, you got a gun, da-da-da. It's going to be exciting at first to people, but
until people start getting shot.
Yeah, until it gets real. And then people are going to be like, okay, let's chill. I like old westerns, so I'm gonna say it's like an old western. Everybody had a gun, and there was law, and there wasn't a whole bunch of shooting. You had a couple outlaws and all that other stuff, but I mean, that's how I think it's going to eventually be like.
Well, but check this out. Would it be good to know who has a gun? Because most people, I think, that have guns don't just go out around like I'm flashing and shoot people. You know?
Yeah.
It's open carry. So if you have a gun, you're going to carry it openly. So if you see somebody that got a gun, you might not. They might not have to pull it because you see it.
That might not always be the wisest choice, because somebody think of a teenager, say you got an open gun, open carrying a gun, he could just run up and take your gun and shoot you with your own gun and run off. I mean, and then even what you brought up about the old West. I mean, what about the old? You got the old people here too, and something that you said about the old West. Actually, the sheriffs had to instate a law that they had no guns inside the city.
Yeah.
You couldn't bring guns inside the saloons, couldn't bring them inside the banks because it got out of hand.
Right.
So that's what I'm thinking. Like, are we really going backwards or forward?
I mean, I guess you could say backwards, but I mean, I don't know. It's a good thought.
Yeah. It just depends. What do you think? I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, people are. Hopefully, people are more educated. And we'll see.
I mean, this is gonna impact. I mean, this law is going to impact more laws, and it's just going to be, like you say, there's going to be some type of law probably where, okay, if you have an open gun, it has to have this kind of
you got to have a license.
Yeah, you're gonna have
a license.
Anytime you have a gun, it should be licensed. And
but you really don't have to have a license now to have a gun. You just go to the academy and buy a gun.
I mean,
you have to have a driving license, or some form of ID, but you don't have to have a license to have a gun.
To carry it.
To carry it? Okay. So is it going to be the same thing as the concealed handgun license?
It'll probably be. It's going to be something. Another gun has to be licensed.
Okay. Yeah.
So you have to. So like they'll probably make sure it's in your name. You can't the
gun has to be registered and
okay. So there's got to be a registration of the gun.
Yeah. Okay. Now there's some illegal people out there who do it. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So, but
this is actually what one of the debates they had on the Senate floor was. Can police just randomly go up and check and see if you have a registration when they have an open carry?
I think they should. I mean, it's just like pulling over check your driver's license.
If they're not doing anything illegal, why would you pull them over?
That's the same thing we're going through. That's the same thing black people going through. They just started checking all the black people, and all the brown people.
It's almost like New York stop and frisk.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, if you ain't doing nothing wrong, what's the difference?
So.
That's the thing, but if you keep getting harassed everywhere you go just because you're trying to follow the same law as the rest of the citizens, I
mean that's true, but
yeah, that's right. Half the station man said I had a point.
I tend to point.
Which point you talking about? Who got a better? But they bam. Anyway, but check it out. But hey, another exciting news, kind of sort of related, but not really. The blue laws, they proposing changing the blue laws, which means you can buy liquor possibly on Sunday now.
Yeah, that was another thing. And so
with the open carry and the liquor law.
Open carry and
longer liquor.
Longer liquor.
You say open carry liquor laws of the week. This is gonna be like a rap video. Texas is about to be the Texas Entertainment, Texas ENT.
Gonna be the Wild Wild West for real.
It'd be wild.
Wild West to the dirty, dirty South.
Anyway, we're gonna go back to some more music. We'll be back with Droski, Judy Love, and myself, Cochise. This has been Immense Music.
TMI, oh yeah, yeah.
Welcome back to Immense.